I'm ready for my next guest, and my team is ready to bring them up. Thanks for being on here with us. Share with us who you are and what you do to help dentists.
Yeah, you bet. My name is Jon Voeller, and I am with Integrity Practice Protect. So we talk about a subject that maybe is a little bit more on the macabre side and something that maybe dentists don't like to think about, right? And that's an emergency plan. So I'd love to be able to have the ability to take raise of hands and see how many dentists actually have an emergency plan. If heaven forbid they passed away, they weren't able to perform dentistry because of whatever, a slip and fall, and they weren't able to physically be able to.
I'll represent the dental world for this and say not nearly enough. As someone who's sold practices, I've sadly been on the front lines of a emotional catastrophe with the practice owner dying suddenly, that it turned into a financial catastrophe, turned into a practice catastrophe. So I think it is so important that we think about what I call, it's a family show, Jon, but we think about the fun parts and also the effed up parts of our lives. And this is one of them. So share with us, you talked about Practice Protect. What do you guys do? Somebody's watching as a practice owner, they're 53 years old. They say, I want to live to be 93, but you never know. What do they do with you to help them protect their practice?
Right. So we have 5 components to the emergency plan. Number 1, we have up-to-date documents and practice information, right? And so each dentist is given their own private portal on the cloud that they can come and we can use their office manager, we can use their CPA, we can use their CFP, we can use their attorney, whatever, to gather and compile all the documents that we need to have that emergency plan in place if heaven forbid they would ever need to capture all of those documents, right? So one of the pushbacks that sometimes we hear is, well, I'll just call my attorney, or I'll just call my CPA, or I'll just call my office manager to get all the information. Well, your family's not exactly going to know everyone to contact to get everything that they need, to have everything in place, to have a go-to-market strategy. And what's so important about the go-to-market strategy is the 8A statistics show after someone is not able to practice or there's a death, heaven forbid, the practice value goes down as much as 25 to 35% in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, we should put that out in our group. I just learned, it's so, you've worked your entire life. Your dad, your mom, your sister, your brothers worked their entire life. And whether you need the money, whether you don't need the money, whether it's just demoralizing to have this asset that you've built your entire life lose value so quickly, because the value is in the goodwill of that dentist being there, and the dentist isn't there. So right off the bat, protect the value of your practice, protect this. And one thing, Jon, I can teach you to talk dentist. So when they push back and say, I'll just call my attorney, just say, this is the biggest treatment plan of their entire life. So it would be like calling the endodontist to learn about the crowns in your mouth, and that's the general dentist job. So the attorney doesn't have the knowledge, the bandwidth, the desire, or all the components to answer all of those questions. So by you guys pulling this together, that's really what they need. So you can use that for your clients because they would understand that.
Exactly, and I appreciate that. And also to piggyback on that, the CPA they're not going to have access to Dentrix. They're not going to have access to EagleSoft. We have access to EagleSoft. We have access to Dentrix, which is fully automated within the portal that the dentist gets. So we're able to actually go out on a quarterly basis and capture that information, pull it into the portal, use our algorithm, compare it to 8A statistics, and give them a market analysis every quarter. So the market analysis is updated every single quarter, and then on an annual basis, they're given a business valuation. Every single year, they get a fresh business valuation, quarterly analysis, as I mentioned. And heaven forbid, if they were to pass, we have local practice brokers around the country, nationally, that we can go to with a go-to-market strategy and get that practice on the market within 24 to 48 hours. So they're not waiting, they're not losing anything. Their family is able to capture all the revenue that the father or the mother has worked so hard in that practice to build. So the full product suite covers everything that they're going to need to go to market.
I mean, I'm so glad you guys have created something like this. People can text PROTECT at 215-543-6454 to learn more. I also wanted to share, I was just on a team meeting this morning about sharing with my team the value of having associate dentist and having someone there, because the group that's not talked about enough in this devastation, you got the dentist and the dentist family. Then you talk about the patients who don't have a dentist, but you have this team that's been working there sometimes for decades, and now they've lost their source of income. They've lost their ability to make money. And the team is now left in a difficult, if not impossible position. But when you can act quickly using what you do and go to market and get a temporary dentist in and get the practice sold, you can keep that team in place. Is that another component that you would say makes sense along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the ancillary products that we're going to be eventually offering is in each of the local communities, we're going to try to build a group of whatever specialist you are, or if you're a GP, that are willing to step in during that time of absence and be able to keep the practice going. So those folks they're not losing their employment. They're not losing their jobs. The practice isn't losing any sort of goodwill. So that is something that we're currently working on, but we haven't rolled it out quite yet.
But what I'm sharing is at least them getting, the practice marketed and getting someone ready to take over would keep the team confident enough to probably keep their jobs. Because if the team scatters, that's disastrous for the family too. So as we kind of have our audience sort of what I call JFO, just find out and move forward. When they text protect to this number, what happens, Jon? Do they get on a call with you and your team? Do you run through how they do it? Do a demo? Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, all the above, right? So we can do, a live chat with them. Everything is fully automated on the website, and I really don't like it when different businesses say just go to our website and you get all the information off of our website. I am actually always available to talk to any dentist.
Awesome.
But they can go to the website. It's fully automated. Sign up. It's only about $2,200. We can break that up into 12 monthly payments. You get a discount with dental nachos.
Nice.
The other thing that I also wanted to mention that I didn't mention is estate planning is included in the package. And we have estate planning attorneys all over the country that are dental centric that can work with you at a discounted price if you go with Integrity Practice Protect. So that in itself, if you already have an estate planner, we have an estate planner that can probably save you a bundle because your estate planner has probably not redone your estate in quite some time.
So key too.
We're finding 10, 15, 20 years, dentists have not redone their estate planning. That's a problem.
Well, you have outlined so many reasons why people should move forward and connect with you. Take the time to protect your business from the effed up events in life. I've seen it too often. I've dealt with it personally. I see it professionally. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Jon. Really means a lot to me.
Thank you very much.
So what an amazing episode of Talking Nachos, where we help you in so many different facets of all the things you need to do to survive, thrive, and not cry as a dentisting human. We have an amazing offer. Text BOOST to 215-543-6454. You will learn about our Super Dentist Boost Camp for practice owners that is both in person and online. Thanks so much for being here today.